Okay, so last session we learned about how to handle the badge options in Bootstrap. Now spinners, badges and spinner we learned. And we also have progress. So we have Bootstrap progress. Bootstrap progress. So in Bootstrap, we have progress option. Actually, progress means it is defined with HTML. HTML progress is defined with progress element. Progress element. And what is the problem with this progress element is it will not allow any labels inside it. We have to keep the content left or right. Already in HTML we learned. Now, Bootstrap progress allows labels and content inside. So it allows labels and content inside. You can keep them. So how do we use progress in Bootstrap? How we can handle? For that, what are the classes required? For that, usually one class is progress. Progress is the class. So how we apply this progress? Inside it, some more options are there. I will show you. So we are using this badge. First, we need to put a container. I will keep a heading here as progress demo. Actually, I will first show you here HTML progress. That already we learned. We have to use progress. So it will have min. So it will have max. So by default, progress will show with some animation. It will display like this. Here we cannot show any value inside the progress. Suppose we are defining the value as 40. Then it will show 40% filled. But there is no value mentioned there. We don't have any value mentioned here. We can't write any content inside the progress. That means I cannot write 40% here. It will not display. We have to keep the content either left or right to the progress. So that means we need to write 40% here, either right or left. We have only this effect for progress. But what is the advantage of Bootstrap? So Bootstrap progress, strap progress. Bootstrap progress, you can put a div. Inside this, we need to apply a class called progress. In that progress, we have to design a progress bar. Progress contains progress bar, and progress can contain multiple progress bars. You can have more than one progress bar defined. So progress actually, it is a collection of progress bars. It is a collection of progress bars. And every progress bar is defined by using progress bar. it is used to configure a progress bar. It is used to configure a progress bar. You have to make sure that progress bar is kept inside progress. First, you have to design progress. In that, you have to use progress bar. So once you configure that progress bar, generally we have min, max, and value. But here we are designing with divs. They don't have any min, max value. Then what you have to do is the value for progress bar is defined with the width attribute. With width attribute using style. Value for progress bar is defined with width attribute using style. So we have to use width attribute using style. We have to do that. So progress bar, you can have multiple progress bars. For example, see now, if I just use progress in the page, a simple progress will come like this. You can see bootstrap progress, empty bar is there. Now inside this progress, we have to design another div. And we need to configure the class as progress bar. We have to give progress bar. So when you define progress bar, here you see there is no change because the progress bar value is defined by using style. By using style, we have to define width. So suppose 40% width. Then it will display like this. So that means you don't have any value. Generally for HTML, we have to use min, max, and value. Here everything is designed with a div. So here we have to apply through style. 100%, it will fill complete. You have to define in percentage, width in percent. What is advantage inside this div? You can put simple here some text like 40% completed. Like this we can define. It will show the text also inside. We can add text content inside it. Now, if you want, you can define some effects for progress bar. Suppose I am giving BG some danger like this background color. It will give that. That means colors you can define by using contextual colors you can apply. That means here value for progress bar is defined with width. That means here we write like this: div progress class progress bar style width 40%, something like this. And the color for progress bar is defined with the BG contextual. BG contextual means you know. That means it is defined in this way: div class progress bar BG danger, like that. Style width 40% like this. That is the basic syntax, how we write. And progress bar have two types of effects also. We can give progress bar stripped, and we have progress bar animated also. These are effects for progress bar. You can give progress bar with some effects like stripped effect, animation effect you can configure. So stripped and animated. These are some effects for progress bar. For example, here I'm giving 40% completed. One more progress bar I will give. I will give here 40% completed. I will put BG success. And another div inside this class progress bar, BG warning. Okay. And here we will keep style width 60%. And here we will write 60% remaining like this. That means you have two progress bars in the progress. It will display like this. So that means 40% completed, 60% font size, everything, color, your wish. You can change according, because it's a div. You can keep any symbol, any icon inside it, and you can configure. Now we have some animation effects for them. These looks normal. What I can do is, for this progress bar, I can give progress bar stripped. Stripped means you can see it gets some stripes, light stripes. You can see grayish stripes will be there. This is stripped style. Light stripes will be displayed inside it. So this is not stripped. Success is not stripped. This one is stripped. Suppose I give this also, progress bar stripped, it will come like this. It will have animation also, animated also. Suppose remaining, I will give here progress bar animated. Progress bar animated, it will, strips will be slightly sliding, scrolling. Scrolling strips will come with animation. That is animated style for strips. So that is general progress bar. Now the question here is, we use both of them depending on situation. If a value need to be changed dynamically according to the situations, then HTML progress bar is used. These days we are not using progress bar much. We are using spinners, because progress bar occupy a lot of space on the page, and they don't look great on mobile devices and all. That's the reason. Majority these days we are using spinners only. Of course, you can see some progress bars in bank websites and all. When any transaction is going on, they show the progress status. But we prefer much spinners because we can just put in a button itself. In a button itself, we can show the loading status. We don't need much screen space. That is the reason you can use progress or you can use spinners. These stripped and animated are effects. And you have to use combination. That means you have to write a div. You have to write syntactically. Just you need to define a div. First, we have to apply progress. Inside this, we have to keep progress bar. And you can have progress bar stripped. So you can have progress bar animated like this. So you can add multiple like that. Just syntax I am giving. Example, I will copy this. So that is progress bar. Just order I given here. And this is an example for that. I will give it in the notes. This is example. So we have spinners and we have progress bars. Yesterday we saw tables also, how to give effects for tables. Next, we also have pagination. Pagination. Pagination have two classes. We have a pagination class and a page item class. These two are there. Now, this is not any functional. It will not work. You can only design. This is only design. It's not functional. It is only design. The pagination, it is only the design. Functionality we have to give with jQuery and JavaScript. Paginations are very common in websites actually. Suppose you are designing complex tables, then these paginations are used. So suppose I have products table and we have a table class as table and a table hover, and in the T head and TR and TH we have name, so we have price and some T body. This is not important for us. Here we have some TV, some price. So the important is below this, suppose we want to keep some pagination. That means I will use T foot and TR and TD call span 2, because above we are having two columns. Here we are creating an unordered list with list item 1, another list item 2, and list item 3, list item 4. Like this we design. We can have some list items 5, 6. Okay. Here we are giving a number. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this we are configuring the list item numbers. So we are defining the list item number. Now usually it looks like this. This is table. Inside the table in the footer we have this. Now we can just apply a class for this as pagination. Pagination. And pagination, inside pagination, these are called as page items. Class as page item. Page item. Just we need to define the class page item for everyone. All these are page items. These are all page items. Okay. Usually it looks like this. Pagination looks like this. Actually, it keeps everything side by side. It configures everything side by side. Now, the point is generally this pagination page items here, these are links 1, 2, 3, We have to click them, configure them. Then we are creating anchor. So this is one, and this is defined href. It is temporarily empty, and here we have a class called page link. We have to use page link. Generally that appearance will be like this, like button one, that is page link. Suppose we are using the same for other page numbers. Copy this, and here this is 2, and here copy, this is 3, and this is 4. And why I kept first last empty? Because in the first also we have a link. Here we will use ampersand LAQUO, left side quotations. So quote here, and here ampersand RAQUO. You can also use your bootstrap icons. Bootstrap have previous icon, next icons. You can use them. I'm just using HTML entities here. Then it will look like this. So this also I will give as a link. So in that we have ampersand RAQUO, right side, and it looks like this. This is pagination. It is not going to work. It is only design. That means what we have to do in JavaScript, in jQuery, when we learn programming, we have to attach this pagination to the table we have. That means how many records per screen to display. 10 records. After that, click on second page, next 10 will come. Like that navigation we can maintain. For that we need lot of program. So here just Bootstrap is providing only design. And to this design, you need to add the functionality to achieve that. In this, suppose we want any one item, we can put as active. That means it looks like this. That means which page is active. That will be changing. When user clicks third, we will make third active. When user click 4, we make 4 active. The active value will be changing for items. By default, one is active. We want, you can change. We can change that. So you can define pagination. So with small, large size. LG for large size pagination. And SM, it is for small size pagination. Size you can define accordingly and configure that. This is used for designing such paginations. We can use that. So pagination, we have one more option is page link. That is for hyperlink. And pagination, we have size LG. And pagination, we have size SM. Size. Syntactically, we have an unordered list class as pagination, and in that a list item will class have page item. In that a link, so href, and class is page link and some number. Anchor close, list item close. Like this we add other effects. Unordered list. That is a simple syntax. The pagination, the page items, page links. So this is just design. That is just design. So functionality we will achieve through programming. So we can only design by using these classes. Right. Next, we have nav bootstrap nav. We have two options. We have nav and nav bar. Two options are there. Bootstrap nav is nothing but a static navigation bar. Static navigation bar with a collection of items and a combination of tab content. What is tab content? I will show you. So bootstrap nav is nothing but it is a collection of items and combination of tab contents. It is two things actually. We have a dynamic navigation bar also. This is a static navigation bar. So for that we have the classes. Earlier we used to have so many. Now some classes are not required. Only few are required. Dynamically, see, I will keep this as example for this pagination. And inside this navigation bar, see, right. Here I am defining product info. Okay. So here we are creating a div and we are configuring the navigation bars. So navigation bars, right? So what are the navigation bars? How we can configure the navigation bar? See, we can define here as a class nav. This is nav. There is another option, nav bar. Both differences I will show you here. Actually, this nav is used to create a navigation bar. Generally, in this navigation bar, there are so many ways of designing. Already I told you, if you remembered, we created some navigation bars also previously, where we created responsive navigation bar, means horizontal orientation, portrait orientation, right? Landscape. Their navigation bars are designed with combination of ordered list, unordered list very much. So you can use any ordered list, unordered list for navigation items. Actually, this nav contains, for example, this is nav. Initially, it is not going to display anything there. So for example, here, so we have button. This is a button. And this button, actually, suppose we define the class as nav item. Now will have nav item. So that is nav item. So this is a small button will come. Actually, suppose I am defining this as a general option like basic info, basic details like this. We have another button. This is using another class nav item, and it's a preview. And another button that is the class nav item, and this is like description. These are the options defined in this. We will make it functional with combinations. Actually, this nav contains these nav items. This nav have options like So we have the options like nav tabs. We have nav tabs, nav pills. The tabs and pill-like appearance you can see when these are displayed as links. Actually, I used as buttons. I used as buttons. Different styles are there. People use buttons, or we can use anchor. Suppose I am using anchor. For that functionality, we will see instead of button, I am using anchor. For these navigation items, anchor. Usually anchor have href. Now this style of navigation, here we are defining href hash. So we don't have any default option here. Now the point is, this is one style of designing. It will look okay, it will work, no problem. But appearance changes when we put in a combination of correct components. Functionality you can give anyway. That means through divs you can give, to general spans you can give. But if you follow traditional approach, then you will achieve exactly how they are trying to present it. Means how Bootstrap is trying to present. That you can achieve exactly if you use the correct combination. Without that also functionality will work. Here functionality will work. Generally, what Bootstrap supports, means what Bootstrap tradition is, they prefer using a unordered list. In unordered list, they prefer using a list item. In that list item, prefer using an anchor. In this, we have like basic details. And another list item anchor, this is suppose preview. Another list item, so anchor, here we have description. Now this is general unordered list. Now what I am doing, I will put a heading here. Here same product info. Here first one is we changed the tradition, we used our own divs and all, it looks like this. Now here for unordered list, we are using the class called nav. We are using the class nav. And for list items, we have to use the class called nav item. And for link, we have to use the class called nav link. So these are the traditional methods. We have nav item, and here we have the class as nav link. Nav link. So here also the class as nav item, and here we have the class as nav link. That means now it looks like this. What is the point is, both are functionally same, only the problem there you face is alignments, placements, indentation, spacing, format will be disturbed, but it will work. That means sometimes I am showing you through ordered list, unordered list. In some websites, they may use divs or spans. You cannot come with a complaint that, so we learned with unordered list why they are using divs. That's their requirement. They can use the divs and spans with their type of alignments, but functionality will be same. Classes are same. That is the reason whether you can achieve the correct format you're looking for depends on what components you are using. So you should know that it can be applied on any element, but format will be correctly configured with what Bootstrap recommends. What Bootstrap recommends for nav and nav items, better use ordered list and unordered list, because Bootstrap designed it through ordered list, unordered list. That is the reason it looks better alignment. They will give a predefined alignment for that. If you are going with others, here also you can achieve. Only the point is you have to remove the underline. You have to give space, means space, right margin or left margin. That is the reason we always prefer the traditional approach in this. Now here I will remove this, just your understanding sake. I showed that. Now here what we have to do, this now have options like nav tabs. Nav tabs will give a tab like appearance. In that I can make preview as active. Active. That means a tab will be active here. That means when mouse pointer is over, you can see tab is active. We can define, so active for any item. You can define active for any item. Or you see tabs will be like this. When mouse is over, it will be displayed active. That means when mouse pointer is over, it will display like this. We have so many styles actually. We can use nav tabs, or we can use like nav pills. But nav pills are not suitable for links. They are suitable for buttons. If you are using buttons, they are suitable. Currently, they are not working because you are using an anchor. If you are using a class as already class is there, suppose you are applying like BTN and BTN primary like this, then pills will be better for that. In that case, we don't use any anchors now. So we will use class, but we don't use any anchors. Instead of anchors, what we do? Button. So that means here I need to change it to button. If I'm using button, then pills is good. That means pills will give the appearance like button. Buttons, when you are using, then pills option is good. Otherwise, you better design with only anchor. And for that, what is the class required? We have to just use nav link. That is the correct option. If you are designing pills, you can use buttons. Otherwise, you can use nav what? Tabs. Now, how this works, we can make it work actually. We can make it work. So that means now this is ordered, unordered list with a list of items. We have the options nav item and anchor. Here we will create another div. Under this div, so here we are having a class called tab content. We have tab content. This is tab content because we designed nav tabs. How many tabs we designed? 3. Basic details, preview, and description. And for every tab, what content you want to show, that you have to design by using tab content. So tabs, if you are using tabs will have tab content. And how many tabs panels you need? 3 tab panels you need. So that means inside tab content, you have to design a class tab pan. This tab pan have an ID basic. And inside this, we put a heading as basic details. And in the basic details, we will put a data list with a data term, some name. I will give data definition, and the name I am giving as suppose, so boat, so neck band, something like this. And the data term, I defined some price, and data definition, some price. Like this we define. Now usually this is one tab pan. And you can see the tab pan is not displayed because, suppose I make it active, tab pan is active, it will display. And we can add effects like fade. Fade is transition effect. Okay, now this is one tab pan, but it should display when you are clicking on this. We will do that. Initially, I will just keep it active. It is active. Okay. Now, similarly, now design other divs. I will copy this, another div. This is tab pan. This is not active. And here we defined ID as preview. And here I will display preview, heading preview. And preview is nothing but I will put an image. Image source is from images, some neckband. So width 200, height 200, like this. Now I need another div. So this is class as tab pan, and ID is equal to description. And here we defined heading. So description, and here we will put something about neckband, something like this. You write some summary description and all. Now usually these are all the tab panels we are having, and this is the tab content. Now this is the basic option. Alignments, margins you can adjust. Now the point is, when user clicks on preview, it should open the tab. And user clicks on description, it should open the tab. Then how we can manage that functionality? Generally, when you are writing for buttons, when you are writing for links, a little bit change will be there. Hyperlinks and buttons. For buttons, by default, they have click, and links will have click. So, and target. So two options are there. Generally, in Bootstrap, when you are using button, how the click will respond with jQuery. jQuery click means data, BS, what? Toggle. Toggle is used for clicking. It is used for clicking. And what it should toggle? Component. You have to tell the component. That means it should toggle tabs. It should toggle tabs. That's the component we are giving. But very important, anchor is already clickable. Already clickable, that means anchor uses href. Href works as toggle. Href works as toggle. So that means href allows to click and configure. Then in that case, here it can use tabs. That means href can work for tabs. But for which tab, that we have to define by using data BS target. Here also you need target. Data BS target. For links, we don't need toggle. Why we don't need toggle? Because href can work as toggle. For links, href can work as toggle, right? So here, so many technical points are there which you will learn in JavaScript, because these are all related to a concept called events. For a button, on click, it will work. For anchors, we don't have on click. For anchors, we have a different technique. Through href itself, we manage it. That if you know, then easily you can handle this difference. That means one sample first I will show you. Don't worry about this sample, just see. See, I am just giving here you to understand button. So suppose say insert, anchor, so delete. I want some actions to perform. Generally for button, what we do, we write on click. On click, I will just temporarily put an alert saying that inserted. I will put an option inserted. For anchor, we don't have on click. Then what we do is for href, we have to use JavaScript. This JavaScript should use an alert, and this alert displays deleted something. That means we don't have on click because href itself works as click. Href is on click. So that is the difference actually. That means you see in the design, I have insert button. I click on it, it says inserted. I click on delete button, it says deleted. But the way of writing the logic for these two elements will change because of their nature and their attributes. For button, we have on click, but for links, we don't have on click. Due to this, what happens is the attributes that you apply to link, they will change when you are applying with button. Button attributes will be different and link attributes will be different, not complete different. One option not required because it is already doing the click. We have to manage that using href. That is very important actually. So this point we can make a separate note before going into this. First, I will give some basic classes. What are the classes? Now, now pills, now fill. So we have now item, we have now link. Those are the options. And we have combination as tab content and tab pen. Content and pan. Here a note is the target for buttons and hyperlink will change. So in jQuery. So what we have to do is button here 1 point. Button uses click to toggle and link uses href to toggle. Right. So here just a basic syntax I will give here. Means what I written here actually just like button on click is equal to some function. Roughly, not you are learning JavaScript here. Href is equal to JavaScript and function. Like this we write actually. Technically we write like this. So here what we do is anchor element doesn't require toggle, doesn't require toggle. Doesn't require actually target. That means we define like this: anchor href is equal to target #target and the data bs toggle is equal to component. Like this we have to configure. right? So depending on how you design it, right? That is the reason. Now what happens is Bootstrap 5, Bootstrap 5 prefers using button for handling click instead of anchors. So in Bootstrap 4, you will see people using these anchors. Href is used as a target, and data BS toggle component. This is common actually, not only here, even for models and all, same approach we have to follow. For example, see, this situation came because of this navigation bar. Actually, see, so where we design models, we have a separate page designed. Models are there. You see, in the models, actually, we designed in this way. Now these two are buttons. This is opening registration form and this is opening login form. So here I will change this login as an anchor. I will give login. Now on this login click, that should open. This is not a button, it's an anchor. Then how do we write attributes? So here it should use data BS toggle. What should toggle? Model. And target, anchor have target with href. Href is the target. What is the target? Hash. What is it? Login. Login is the model name, na? Model name is what? Login model. Yeah. Login model. That is the reference. That means here it is not using data BS target. Why? Because href will work as target. So you have to just define the component. Now this login will work with that option. We don't need data BS target, depending on which element you are using. So actually in older versions, people have this habit. Everywhere navigation bars, click on open, they used to use lot of hyperlinks. But hyperlinks don't have data BS target. They use only href as target. They use only data BS toggle. That is the reason people who are learning new version and watching old version related tutorials and all, they are very much confused in this. So that is the reason I need to explain this point, that when you see a link is doing the work, then target will not be there. When you see button is doing the work, then you have to use data BS target. So that is the technical difference actually. Technical difference. That means here a simple example here is just what I showed you here. Better I will keep these two lines for you so that it is easy. These are the two lines that show the correct difference for you. That means one is button, another one is anchor. So for button, so we have data BS toggle and data BS target. But for anchor, you have only data BS toggle. That is the difference. So this is important to understand. That is the reason both will work. your requirement. You keep anchors, then no target. href will be used as target. If you use button, then additionally you have to define target. You need to configure target. So let's see here now. That means we can design this in two ways. So this is just a syntactical note. Button, it have two attributes, data bs toggle and data bs target. And here it is a link. Then it is having data bs toggle only. Target is managed by using href. Right. That is. So this is because of navigation bar. That means when we design navigation bar, either you use anchors or you use buttons, it doesn't matter. You can go with both. But now Bootstrap 5 professionally prefers using buttons. They don't prefer using anchors, because even in official Bootstrap site also, their templates are with buttons only. So they don't prefer using anchors. So now that is old version anchors. Now in the new version, all are buttons. So that means this is the old technique. What I designed here is the old technique for these links. That means we used anchor, basic details, preview and all. Actually, what is the new technique? This is not anchor. This is what? Button. But class will be nav link only. This is button. But for that button, class will be nav link only. That means it will look like a hyperlink, but it is not an anchor. So it is a button. What happens with anchor also I will show you, right? Initially, this is button. But when you use nav link, you can see its appearance is same. No? Its appearance is same. No change there. Its appearance is change. That means it looks like a link only. But professionally, Bootstrap prefers using this buttons. But this nav link will put a link. Now what should happen is every this tabs, this button click should respond. So we can use active, we can use show to show, and we can put effect called fade. Fade effect is for transitioning fade. When you are changing, you will see it. For all the tab panels, we are using fade. Tab panels, we are using fade. Now tell me how to open that on button click. Simple. What we have to do, two attributes we need to write. So one is, suppose data bs toggle. So toggle what? So it should toggle tabs. It should toggle tabs. Actually, tabs is nothing but nav tabs. Suppose if you designed this as a nav pills, suppose you designed as nav pills, right? Then the toggle will be pills. Understood? Pills. That means toggle will be tabs or pills that you have to define based on what effect you have given, what format style you have given. If you given tabs, that means it should toggle what? Tabs. Which tab? We have to define that. Data bs target hash. Which one? Basic. So this is the approach we have to follow. Data bs toggle what? Tabs. And data bs target. Data bs target, this is preview. And here we have data bs toggle, same tabs, and here we have data bs target. Target is hash description. Like this we need to configure. That is actually toggle and transition. Here the point is, so when you are configuring the links, so the preview, description, they should navigate to that location. Here one more option is there. So for tab, we don't have any reference ID. That means suppose we are using tab, that means it will toggle the tabs, it will display the tab, and it will get the tabs. So means this is tab, which tab, the tab ID you have to define. Now when you click on this, you can see preview, it will get the preview tab. You click on basic details, it will get the basic details. So that means it will be changing and displaying the content. So that is the combination of content. You can keep in any direction. Sometimes people ask, I want vertical. Already we designed vertical, if you remembered. Intra document navigation I showed you. So left side what we done, left side navigation buttons, right side scrollable content we designed. Just I kept this at the top. We can keep it in the left side and user clicks, then it can open. That means it is not mandatory that this must be above and this must be below. You can keep in left column, another one right column. They are linked with these tab contents. So initially when you are configuring, suppose now see, we will change this one option, preview. I will change this preview as a link. I will use as a link. Class is nav link. Class I defined as nav link, and here I will give the text as preview. That means appearance, it looks same, but on that click it should work. Now can you tell what are the attributes I need to define? Data bs toggle. What? Tab. Which target? Target how to define? Not base data bs target. We have to define href. Href is what? Preview. That is how we need to configure that preview. It will open. That means depending on what element you are using, which element you are configuring. Is it button? Is it link? If link, there is no attribute called target, because already href works as target. Suppose I am not using href, I am writing here data bs target. Data bs target, I am using that preview. That means we are using that preview target. You see that is still working fine, right? But we don't need that, because now you have two problems. Href, what will happen now? You given target, so and without href it doesn't look like clickable. Description clickable, basic details clickable, but preview doesn't look clickable, because that appearance and effect should come by using one attribute. What is that attribute? Href. So when you are using anchors, don't use any data bs target. You have to define that by using href only, it will work. That is the combination, how to design, right? So a simple example for that. So syntactical example, now with tabs. First, we have to create an unordered list. So class as now and now tabs. In that we have a list item, class as now item, and in that we have active, show, fade, like this. In that list item, you will have a button, and usually this is defined with nav link data bs toggle will be tab data bs target will be hash some preview. That is the list item. I'm giving only one in a syntax. Below this we have tab content. In that we have tab pan with id as preview. Class active, show fade. Acha, I given wrong here. Huh? For nav item you don't have show fade. Huh? Nav item we don't have show fade. Show fade is given for tab panels. Huh? So here you keep your content and close the div. That is the combination actually. So that is the nav bars. So how do we define this? Now, this is tabs. So this we need with a combination and define with a combination of navigation bar. I will show you that navigation bar also. Say example. I will paste this example. And here in this example, I given one link also. How to configure a link, I given that. That's the example. Now this is bootstrap nav. Now we have one more complex is we have a dynamic navigation bar. We have a dynamic navigation bar. This is a little bit complex one. Dynamic navigation bar, how to deal with that. First, I will show you one level. Implementation we will see later. First, I will show you basic point because it's a very big concept. A lot of things are involved in it. We need a lot of combination actually. So this dynamic navigation bar is usually responsive type. Responsive type means, for example, we have some Amazon. It is similar to like this. You see, in this navigation bar, when you are adjusting the width, it is not showing it. This is not having the brand correctly. Flipkart. These also don't have that navigation bar. Okay. I will show you. We will create one. Bootstrap have that. Get bootstrap. Okay. In these examples, you will find, where is it? Nav bar. Nav bar. This is the nav bar. Yes. So this is the nav bar actually. You see, this we will design, but first we need to understand. You see here, the black navigation bar contains off canvas, nav bar, dashboard, notification, profiles, and all this. And right side we have a search and search button. But when I adjust the window size, when we adjust the window size or zoom, that means when you are watching on mobile, then immediately you can see that when I adjust the width, this will change into like this. That means right side, you see in toggler button will come. That is the toggler button. You can keep right or left. And when I click on this, then it will open the options. So it will open the options and again click, it will hide. So this is going to display this type of navigation bar. And very important is when you are adjusting the width again, if width is enough, then all the nav items will come like this. If width is not enough, it will just show this toggler and we can display that. This is the combination of dynamic navigation bar. But in this, so many things are required. In this, we have to create a nav bar. In that nav bar, how to open and close on button click, you know it. For that, we need a collapse. Collapse is going to show and hide the content. That means on the button, there should be collapse. Collapse should show and hide the content. Another is responsiveness. That means when you are watching portrait, then the button should come. When you are watching landscape, then the button should hide and all the menu items should display. So this kind of one small example we already designed. In responsive design, I showed you how to hide the text and display only symbols. We designed a responsive navigation bar in media queries. We learned in media queries, I showed you that technique we know. But what is specialty is you don't need to work hard now. What you can do is you can simply apply those effects by using ready-made classes. For that, you need so many combinations here. So we have to design a dynamic navigation bar by using the combination of all of them. That we'll see tomorrow in the next session. Tomorrow we will finish Bootstrap. Then we can start working with JavaScript now, right? With Bootstrap, we will finish, and tomorrow I will give you a website sample. So I will show you here first how to design it. I will tell you, you have to design it. You can take 2-3 days time because it's a huge design. Lot of things are there and you have to create the entire screen. And if you are feeling any difficulty in that, I will help you in understanding and dealing, right? Tomorrow we'll see. Tomorrow we'll continue.